Now, Queensland's fight against fire ants is intensifying amid fears misinformation is spurring on the spread. The Invasive Species Council is on a myth-busting mission to change public perception around eradication programs.
Yeah, let's get more on this. Jack Goff is from the Invasive Species Council. Jack, tell us more. There's some conspiracy theories going around. What's the story here?
Yeah, good morning. Look, not unsurprising, I guess, if you've got a large government program which has to access 100% of all properties in the area it's trying to treat, that there is a small minority of people that have been caught up in some conspiracy theories. The unfortunate part of it is it actually undermines the effectiveness of the whole program for everyone, because in that eradication band around Brisbane down to the Gold Coast, the authorities need to treat 100% of all properties. If you do get this small number of people that are refusing to participate because they've been caught up in some of this misinformation and conspiracy theories, it can actually make the program more expensive, a lot more difficult, and unfortunately, and quite despicably, actually, we're hearing a lot of reports of abuse and even violent threats against some of the program staff. So this is why we've said, look, we need to come out and make some comments about this. We're not involved. Let me just be clear in delivering the program. That's delivered by Biosecurity Queensland, but obviously we've been quite vocal advocates for it. And so,
well, Jack, let's knock a few things on the head then. What are these conspiracies?
Yeah, I mean, look, the process is quite similar, I think, to some of the anti-lockdown or anti-vaccination conspiracies, where there's a bit of sort of twisting of science. One of the common ones that we hear is that there's off-target damage and impact on bees. So this is from the fire ant baits, and we can assure the public that the way that these baits are delivered, they're in a corn grit, a sort of 1 to 3 millimetre corn grit with what's called an insect growth regulator, that they are not able to be picked up by bees and taken back to their nest. And in fact, in the United States, where there are an out-of-control fire ant outbreak across the whole southern United States, costing billions and numbers of medical appointments and people sent to hospital, a lot of beekeepers use these things directly around their hives to protect the hives from fire ants, because we know that fire ants, when they're in an area, actually dramatically reduce the number of other insects. They're very aggressive. I've seen areas on the Gold Coast where you don't see any other native ants or other insects in the areas where the fire ants are. Once that treatment's gone on with those insect growth regulators, the fire ant numbers dramatically drop down, and then you see that recolonisation of the native insects as well. So that's one of the myths. Another one that seems to come up is that there's fears around off-target impacts on people's pets and on dogs and cats and things. I can assure people there's been extensive reviews. This is including a recent one by a toxicologist for the National Fire Ant Program. This is an insect growth regulator. It doesn't have an impact on mammals at all. It's not even considered to be a poison because there's no impact on mammals. And in fact, the same chemicals are used in higher concentrations on dog and cat flea baiting products, so directly on the skin of people's pets.
Oh, well, it's good to clear up those things because, yes, as you said, people had those concerns, but clearing up those conspiracies.
Yeah, and doing a bit of myth-busting with us on 612 ABC Brisbane when we know there is quite the battle that we're confronting when it comes to controlling the spread of fire ants. Jack, good of you to join us this morning. Thanks so much.
No, very happy to.
Jack Goff from the Invasive Species Council.